Alien Earth has just completed its 8-episode first season run on Disney+. The Alien was my biggest draw to the show and has turned out to be completely nonsensical. But first, let's address the aliens. You could take the aliens out of this show, rename it, and it wouldn't matter whatsoever. They are one of the least prominent species in the show. Wendy is able to make clicking noises and communicate with them across an entire island, almost telepathically. In fact, telepathically would make more sense, as she can beam thought transmissions through mountains and jungles and instruct them with such accuracy that they will only kill the enemy soldiers in a group of people. The aliens have been criticised in the past for looking too CGI or like humans in alien costumes. Well, in this show, the creators have managed to make them look both like CGI and humans in alien costumes. In the past, the aliens have moved silently in the shadows, which helps hide the flaws in the costumes or CGI, but here we see them in broad daylight multiple times. They attempt to hide them by showing them fleetingly diving into drainage pipes, etc., but it's long enough to see that they look like pure shite. Boy Cavalier. So Boy Cavalier is worth $1 trillion. I've got no idea what that's equal to in today's money, but are you telling me he has less staff in his island research base than we have in our local Tesco Express? 2 scientists and an android running a synthetic human experiment worth tens of millions of dollars, with 8 or so kids in powerful robot bodies doing as they please. A children's nursery would require more staff. And as if they aren't understaffed enough, they're then given 5 alien species to take care of and study. Also, the aliens on this island are pathetic. Nothing compared to the soldiers and aliens. These guys literally look like university students doing cash work during the summer holidays. And every time anyone says the name Boy Cavalier, I couldn't help but think that he actually looks more like a 30-plus-year-old man. The graves. The graves in the jungle was so jarring to me. The so-called lost boys managed to stumble upon them as if they're just buried in the middle of a path. The headstones look CGI and out of place. Minimal effort. How was the woman scientist completely unaware of the escaped specimens when she went to visit the graves? Wouldn't there be sirens going off or at least a text message sent out? And how did the alien know where she was? And it was very convenient that the soldiers stumbled upon an alien who stumbled upon the scientist at the site of the buried children that they stumbled upon in the previous episode. The aliens are both able to slay a room full of soldiers under gunfire in seconds, but also scared away by a warning shot in the jungle. It makes no sense. The Eye Alien. So the Eye Alien is what drew me to the show. The thought of it was repulsive and I was excited to see what they would do with it. I'd hoped it would get enough screen time to do it justice, as I assumed aliens would be the star of the show. But fortunately in that sense I was wrong. Everything about this alien is shite. It makes no sense as a parasite. Why is it so good at fighting? How does it get kicked around like a football by a robot and is totally uninjured? Why does it have them stupid pupils that all converge? Like the way it moves around makes no sense. It would have been scarier if it was just an eyeball on top of a small octopus-like creature. I was cheering for it to get Wendy's tofu brother at the end of episode 8, and when it dived off into the cable duct, I couldn't think of any other humans it would be able to inhabit, as everyone else on the island was either dead or a robot or part robot. I'd say this is a spoiler, but I can't believe there would be a season 2, so here we go, now. How the fuck did it manage to find the dead scientist's body that was washed up on the shore of a huge island? How did it not find another creature before that it could hijack? Also, how did it use a dead host? Surely it gets its nutrition from the blood of its host. It makes no sense. It's lazy and really sealed the deal as this being a steaming pile of shite. I felt compelled to put this on the internet, and I don't enjoy being negative, so I'd like to end on a few positives. The flashback episode that showed the crew which piloted the ship which crashes in episode 1 was probably my most enjoyed episode. Yes, they made ridiculous decisions, but the casting and the set pieces felt very faithful to the source material. Also, my favourite actor and character in the show was Morrow. Very intense character with sweat on his brow, possibly the only character in the show that wasn't completely insufferable. He felt far above this crap.